Good morning. So I don't exactly know how all of this came about, but several months ago I just had a major shift in my approach to life and my art and walking and everything else. I managed, I seem to have managed to have let go of some of the expectations about what any of it means, or where I'm particularly going with any of it. And I am just going down the road, living my life, having a great time. And that doesn't mean that like every moment I'm super, super happy. I have my ups, I have my downs, just like anybody else. But basically, creatively, this is a great time for me. So if you've been here very much, you already know that I like creating little corners or vignettes or spaces, creative spaces. And I have a pretty small apartment, so I don't have too many corners left to work on. I suppose I could start over and just rework them, but that's not in the plan. Anyway, you would think I would be done by now because I have done the studio, the bedroom, the living room, the hallway, most of the kitchen. Yeah, you would think I would be doing something else, but I am just newly inspired to keep going with this project. In fact, now this one I tried to talk myself out of. I had an idea and I thought that is just so impractical and so unnecessary, and I do not need to do it. And so I took that idea and I put it way over there, or tried to put it way over there, and it kept jumping out at me and saying, oh, just do it. You know you want to. And I do want to, and I am going to do it. And it all started because somebody gave me a sewing machine, and it works. I tried it out. Now, I used to be a seamstress like 100,000 years ago, and I totally burned myself out on sewing, so much so that I gave away all my sewing stuff, and I vowed never to thread another bobbin again in my entire life. And then yesterday I tried out the sewing machine, and I got the bug again. And the plan is not about sewing. The plan is about creating a sewing space, and I'm going to create it out of a space that when you see it, you're going to think it's impossible, but I know otherwise because I did this once upon a time, a million years ago, when my son was 3 or 4 years old, and he's like way into his 50s now, so you do the math. We lived in Corpus Christi, Texas, and he had one of the 2 bedrooms in the apartment, and it had 2 closets, and I didn't have any privacy or creative space. And so I moved all of his closet stuff into the little closet, and I took over the other closet in his room. And I put my sewing in there, and I put my painting in there, and my writing in there, and all my crafts and music, and I think I had a guitar at the time. I think my guitar was in there too. Yep, that was true. I have that memory. Still haven't gotten very far with that. It's not the same guitar now, but I haven't gotten very far with playing the guitar. But oh, that's another story. Stop it. Stay on track. So anyway, I'm going to show you this space that I encountered the other day, and thought that I should just turn it into a sewing room. And then I thought, oh, geez. Well, I'm going to show you, because when you look at this space as is, you're going to think, oh, really? I don't know what you're going to think. It doesn't matter. Right now, I sort of have a $50 limit on a project. If I really needed something, I could spend that $50. But so far, I haven't even done that. And that's no different this time. I'm going to create this space out of half the closet because, like I said, I have a small apartment. I do have some clothes. Most of them have paint on it, but that's another story too. But I still need the closet for the clothes, and so they are going to stay down one half of the closet, and I'm going to create a sewing room out of the other closet. Still means that I have to get rid of a bunch of stuff, which is fine because I like doing that too. Okay, so I'm going to show you the impossible sewing room space as is, and then I'm going to start plotting and looking for things that I might utilize that I already have. It'll be fun. This is the first pass. And I had to rob from Peter to pay Paul, or whatever, however that goes. This table was in the other room. I'm not going to show you that now. And it fits here. I didn't have any other table that fits here. All right, this is where it gets interesting, because normally I would start painting this wall. And I put this frame up here because I thought I might make a backlit faux stained glass window here to go in my little closet sewing room. And then, thank heavens, I stopped. This is a tidy space. It works. It's cute. I'm going to use this poster that I already have, that I made a couple years ago, and put it in that frame, and I'm going to call it done. The sewing machine goes there. As soon as it's serviced, it's almost done. And what a cleanup. I still have too many clothes over here. I know some people would think that's not a lot of clothes, but I only wear about a fourth of them, so too many clothes. So that'll get tidied up at some point. But this is progress, and it didn't cost me anything except a day, and I'm happy. If you're wondering why it seemed to be so important to me not to get into the overboard scenario of creating the faux backlit stained glass window pink wall thing in my tiny little sewing room, it's because it didn't really fit in with my needs. I recognized right at that point that what I was really doing was procrastinating from doing what it is that is important to me right now. And when I started all this revision of all these corners in my apartment, it was to give myself a sense of peace and order, and to make my things useful to me and organized, so that I would be free to work on some other important things. And if I was to go down that road, I would just be avoiding what it is I really want to spend my time working on right now. So I think I'm done with all my little corners. The apartment feels great. I love walking into it. That wasn't always the case. Sometimes it felt a little basement-y. And now it feels like I'm living in one of my paintings. Makes me happy. I also have quite a few, I have less stuff, and that makes me happy. And the stuff that I do have functions and is where it's supposed to be. And so I know where to go to get it. And that makes me happy. And now I'm free. And so that's why I stopped. And that doesn't mean that down the road I can't decide I want to do that faux backlit stained glass window and pink wall. I can. Not now. I have other things to do. And I'll tell you all about them coming up. Not now. All right, have a great day. I'm going to take you on a little tour of the apartment before I call it good. All right, take care. You on a little tour. This is the hallway that comes in from the garage into my apartment. That's an overstuffed coat rack. And then we move into the wall that started all this madness. Or maybe the kitchen started it, but the kitchen was a long time ago. Okay, so there is the first wall. There's the door you saw. There's this cozy little corner and the couch that goes in it. You saw me paint this wall, and you saw me paint this wall. Here's the studio. The studio could use a little cleanup, but it's not gonna get it now. And then here is my bedroom and the organized sewing corner.